There is a word every cat parent dreads hearing in an exam room: kidney, cancer, take your pick. Your stomach drops the same way. We spend our days worrying about hairballs and scratched furniture, but the real fear sits quietly in the back of our minds. And the numbers are heavy. Studies suggest that more than 30% of cats over the age of 10 are living with chronic kidney disease, and many of them show no obvious sign until most of the kidney is already gone. If you are watching this and feeling that squeeze in your chest, I understand. But what if I told you that genetics only load the gun, and that daily food and water choices are what pull the trigger? Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lucas Aoki, your neighborhood cat vet, and welcome back to the channel. I see the heartbreak of senior cat disease every single week, but I also see cats who quietly defy the odds, reaching 16, 18, even 20 with bright eyes and a strong appetite. In almost every one of those cases, the owner turned the food bowl into a biological fortress. You are probably thinking, I have been feeding the same dry food for 8 years. My friends, you are not a bad cat parent. You were never told. Cats hide illness better than any animal I treat, so silent damage builds for years behind a purr. Today we are doing a complete longevity masterclass. Grab a pen and a notebook, because we are covering 7 chapters, from the fuel in the bowl, to the liver, to the one ingredient in the thumbnail that costs you nothing. Hit that subscribe button to join our educated cat parent community, and let's dive right in. Before we add anything good, we have to look honestly at what is already in the bowl. Millions of cats live long lives on high-quality dry food. It is balanced, it is convenient, and I am not here to shame anyone for using it. But here is the hard veterinary truth. To make those crunchy shelf-stable pieces, kibble goes through a process called extrusion, which uses extreme heat and pressure. That heat degrades fragile nutrients and, more importantly for a cat, it leaves a food that contains around 8% moisture when a cat's natural prey contains around 70%. Cats descend from desert hunters. Their thirst drive is famously weak. They evolved to get water from mice, not from a bowl. So a cat eating only dry food often lives in a state of mild, permanent dehydration, and the organ that pays the price is the kidney. So we upgrade. I want you to remove 20% of the dry food. Just scoop it out. Now here is where I see the classic mistake. An owner comes into my clinic and says, "Dr. Lucas, I did it. I replaced it with plain boiled chicken. Please do not do this." Cats are obligate carnivores, and plain muscle meat is poor in taurine compared with organ and heart tissue, and it wrecks the calcium to phosphorus balance over time. Taurine deficiency causes a heart disease called dilated cardiomyopathy and can cause blindness. The correct way is to replace that 20% with the targeted, balanced, biologically appropriate foods we are covering today, starting with wet food. One of the greatest drivers of disease in cats is chronic low-grade inflammation, and the biggest source of it is body fat. Fat tissue is not a passive cushion. It is metabolically active, and it pumps out inflammatory signals every hour of every day. In cats, excess weight also multiplies the risk of diabetes several times over. You should be able to feel your cat's ribs with a flat hand without pressing hard, and you should see a visible waist when you look down from above. To get there, we audit the treats. Treats should never exceed 10% of your cat's daily calories, and for a 4 to 5 kilogram cat, that is a shockingly small number, roughly 20 to 25 calories. That is about 4 or 5 small freeze-dried chicken pieces. Swap those grain-heavy crunchy treats for single-ingredient freeze, dried chicken, rabbit, or whitefish. Now please hear this vet warning, because this is where cats and dogs split completely. Never crash diet a cat. Never fast a cat. If an overweight cat suddenly stops eating, the body dumps fat into a liver that cannot process it, and you get hepatic lipidosis, a life-threatening liver failure that can begin after just 2 or 3 days without food. Weight loss in cats must be slow and supervised by your vet. And if your cat refuses food for 24 to 48 hours, that is not fussiness. That is an emergency. Every day your cat absorbs chemicals. They walk across a freshly mopped floor, then they lie down and groom every paw. Whatever is on the fur goes into the mouth. That grooming loop is the single most underestimated danger in a cat's home. And here is the mechanism nobody tells you. Cats have a genetic shortage of a liver enzyme pathway called glucuronidation. That pathway is the body's main detox conveyor belt. Dogs have plenty of it. Cats have very little. This is exactly why so many compounds that a dog shrugs off will poison a cat. So let me demolish a myth with 100% certainty. You may have seen dog channels recommend golden paste, turmeric with black pepper, as a daily anti-cancer topper. For your cat, that advice does not belong in the bowl. Piperine, the black pepper compound, works by blocking exactly the liver pathways cats already lack, and most cats will refuse the food anyway. We do not force plant medicine into an obligate carnivore. Instead, the feline detox strategy is subtraction. Get essential oil diffusers out of the house, especially tea tree, eucalyptus, citrus, and pine. Never use a dog flea product on a cat, because permethrin can kill a cat within hours. Remove every lily from your home, because a single petal or even the pollen on the fur can cause acute kidney failure. Never give paracetamol, one tablet is lethal, and rinse the floor after cleaning it. That is the real detox protocol. Now we build. The greatest longevity food you can buy for your cat sits in the cheapest part of the butcher counter. Fresh liver and fresh heart. Heart is the taurine king. Taurine is the amino acid that keeps the heart muscle strong and the retina intact, and cats cannot make enough of it themselves. A small amount of finely chopped, lightly cooked chicken or beef heart, about half a teaspoon, 2 or 3 times a week, is a superb addition. Liver is nature's multivitamin, packed with B12, iron, and choline. But here is the vet warning. Liver is extremely concentrated in vitamin A, and cats are far more vulnerable to vitamin A toxicity than dogs, which can cause painful bone changes in the spine. Liver must stay under 5% of the total diet. That means a piece the size of your thumbnail, twice a week. No more. On the other days, reach for the humble egg. A gently scrambled or soft-boiled egg offers a flawless amino acid profile, and the yolk carries more choline for the liver. One egg spread across 3 or 4 days is plenty. Always cooked, never raw, because raw egg white binds biotin and raw protein carries bacterial risk. As cats age, they accumulate oxidative stress. Free radicals bounce through the bloodstream, damaging tissue and accelerating aging. Now, dog channels will tell you to smash blueberries into the bowl. Cats do not possess a functioning sweet taste receptor. They literally cannot taste sweetness, and most cats will walk away. So we swap the antioxidant slot for something a carnivore actually uses. Vitamin E from a quality complete diet, taurine-rich heart meat, and marine fats, which we cover next. But the biggest battlefield is the gut, where roughly 70% of the immune system lives. When the microbiome collapses, inflammation rises everywhere. Here is where I want you to ignore another dog trick. A tablespoon of yogurt or milk is not a treat for a cat, it is a laxative, because most adult cats are lactose intolerant. Choose a probiotic designed for cats instead, a plain powder sachet stirred into wet food once a day. If you want the food route, a 1/4 teaspoon of plain unsweetened kefir occasionally is tolerated by some cats, but stop immediately if the litter tray tells you otherwise. Dry food leans heavily on omega-6 fats from plant oils and cheap animal fat, and omega-6 feeds the inflammatory fire. To put that fire out, your cat needs omega-3. But there is a critical distinction. Cats convert plant oils like flaxseed into the active forms, EPA and DHA, even worse than dogs do. Pouring flaxseed oil on the food does almost nothing. They need marine omega-3, a molecularly distilled fish oil, kept in the fridge, dosed with a pump or a dropper. Start with a few drops, not a squirt, and build slowly, because too much too fast means loose stool and a greasy coat. Or take the food route. 1 small sardine, packed in water, no salt, no oil, mashed into the food twice a week. My friends, this is one of the few remedies where the cheap version is the better version. But Dr. Lucas, what about tuna every day? No. Habitual tuna feeding brings mercury exposure and nutritional imbalance, and many cats become addicted to it and refuse balanced food. Treat tuna as a rare garnish, never a meal. And now we arrive at the one you have been waiting for. If you saw the thumbnail of this video, this is exactly what I was talking about. The single most powerful longevity ingredient you can add to your cat's bowl every morning is water. I know, you expected an exotic powder, but chronic kidney disease is the leading cause of death in senior cats, and the kidney is the organ most punished by a lifetime of low-grade dehydration. Every extra milliliter of water your cat takes in flushes the kidneys and dilutes the urine, which also protects against the crystals and inflammation behind feline urinary disease. Here's the correct way. Take their wet food and stir in 1 to 2 tablespoons of warm water until it becomes a thin soup. Warm, not hot, around body temperature, because warmth releases the aroma and cats eat with their nose first. If your cat refuses plain water, use unsalted, completely onion-free and garlic-free broth, or a splash of the water from a tin of sardines packed in water. Onion and garlic destroy feline red blood cells, so read that label like a vet would. Then fix the water stations. One wide, shallow ceramic bowl, filled to the brim so the whiskers never touch the sides, placed far away from the food and far away from the litter tray, because a cat instinctively will not drink beside where it eats or eliminates. Add a second and third bowl in different rooms. Many cat parents find a running fountain doubles intake overnight. And please hear this vet warning. If you ever see a male cat going in and out of the litter tray, straining, crying, and producing nothing, that is not constipation and it is not behavioral. That is a urethral blockage, and it can kill within 24 hours. That is a same-night emergency. Let's take a deep breath. I can imagine you might be feeling a little overwhelmed, so look at the toolkit you just built. You know how to swap 20% of the dry food without breaking the balance. You know how to keep them lean without ever crash dieting. You know why the feline liver cannot detox like a dog's. You know your thumbnail-sized liver rule, your half teaspoon of heart, your egg, your feline probiotic, your sardine, and your warm water soup. Now, the golden rule. Never introduce all of this at once. A cat's digestive system rebels at speed, and I promise you, you will be cleaning up vomit at 3 in the morning. Introduce one new thing every 7 to 10 days. That is it. Pick one this week. Add the tablespoon of warm water to tonight's dinner. It takes 10 seconds, and those 10 seconds compound across years. And I have to be honest with you. If your cat is already drinking excessively, losing weight, vomiting frequently, or hiding away from the family, these kitchen upgrades will not fix that. Your cat needs blood work and a urine test today. If that is where you are right now, please do not carry guilt. You did not cause this. Cats are simply built to hide it, and catching it now still buys you time. The fact that you sat through an entire masterclass on feline biology says everything about you. Most people never will. Your cat cannot thank you for the water you added this morning, but their kidneys will be doing it quietly for years. If this brought you value, please hit the like button. It helps tell the algorithm that safe veterinary advice is valuable, and it helps our channel protect so many more cats. Hit subscribe so you never miss our deep dives into your cat's health. And in the comments today, I want one specific answer. Are you adding warm water, a sardine, or a piece of heart to the bowl tomorrow morning? Tell me your cat's name and their age. I try to read every single comment. And share this video with a friend whose cat only eats dry food. You might just change that cat's life. I'm Dr. Lucas Aoki. Thank you for loving your cat enough to protect them, and I'll see you in the next video.